Roger the Dodger, who sends this one in. Father Simon and your collective. Oh, very good.
Hello.
Hello. My confession goes back some 40-odd years to when I was back home in Africa. At this time, I was 9 and living with my aunt. Everyone in the household was a disciplinarian, and I, being the youngest and with a creative mind and a strong penchant for trouble, usually found myself at the receiving end of the discipline. I used to get myself into all kinds of scrapes. One day I fell out of a tree in our compound whilst trying to reach over the boundary fence to the tree in our neighbour's compound. Both my heart and my eyes were set on a juicy, ripe mango that was both beckoning and tantalising me from our neighbour's compound. I was caught red-handed by my cousin Henry as I landed quite painfully onto the ground and was punished for trying to steal the neighbour's mango and injuring myself in the process. Needless to say, I was not happy about this discipline. I wasn't happy about this discipline. Because that's how they speak.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I thought divine retribution had already punished me enough, having fallen out of the tree and got scraped knees and everything. Moreover, I didn't feel the offence deserved punishment at all, because our neighbour was a grouchy old man who never let any of the kids take his mangoes. So what was one to do but help themselves? Well, I don't think, Your Honour, that's going to be a very good...
No.
He wasn't letting me help myself, and so I had to take them. Anyway, as I mentioned, I was an exuberant 9-year-old, and being the youngest, was the one usually sent on all kinds of errands by everybody. During that period, my posh cousin Henry was madly in love with a girl from the neighbourhood. In all honesty, she was a lovely girl, and I too adored her. In fact, I once heard my aunt mention that she was good wife material. Henry is different times.
Yeah, really.
Henry used to send me on errands with messages for the lovely and fragrant Helen. You could say I was his human pigeon, which was fine with me because I was in love. Now, on this particular day, Henry made the unfortunate error of sending me with an important message for Helen. The message, if my memory serves me well, was to tell her that he, Henry, wanted to meet her, Helen, by the big tree at the end of the road at 2:30. Anyway, off I went, skipping on my way to Helen's house. I was always either running or skipping in those days. Oh, to be young and a bundle of energy. Matt usually skips on his way.
I do. I'm always skipping.
However, by the time I got to Helen's house, I opened my mouth, and by mistake, a completely different message came out. The message that I actually relayed went like this. My aunt sent me to tell you, Helen, that she doesn't like you, and also she doesn't want to see you with Henry, she doesn't want you to date him or to go anywhere near her compound, and she doesn't want you to marry her son, and she doesn't want you to become her daughter-in-law. Also, you smell.
What?
Poor Helen looked distraught,
Yeah.
absolutely devastated, as
Quite right.
she would. In my mind's eye, I can still see that gentle face of hers full of bewilderment. But at the time, it wasn't my concern. Having relayed the message, your message, I left and went to my best friend's house to play. I was happily engrossed in the fun and activities, such that I forgot about the fire that I had kindled. That was until I saw Henry with puffy red eyes. He just grabbed me by the hand and said, "We're going home now." He also spoke like that.
Yes, he did.
Like a criminal. I found that when when we walked through the front gate, my aunt was sat on a garden chair and Helen, crying, stood next to her. At that precise moment, I realised I was in very deep trouble indeed. All eyes were on me, and please remember I was a frightened 9-year-old. I just looked down and kept quiet. After some moments, my aunt reported that Helen and Henry were both crying because of the message I had given Helen, supposedly from her. Well, I was rumbled, so I said what anyone would say, especially if they were 9. No, it wasn't me. Definitely not me. It might have looked like me. It wasn't me. I didn't give any message. I haven't even seen Helen for weeks. Anyway, the truth of the matter is, Father Simon and the esteemed collective, I never owned up to anything. I denied and denied and denied everything. Ha ha, take that, posh boy Henry. Anyway, this snub to their love only lasted a very, very short time. As, a little later, Henry and Helen got married and were... we skipped a little bit.
We did a little.
And were blessed with 4 children, I might say. And I never owned up to what I had done, though I've heard this story relayed amongst family and friends about how I made a grown woman and man cry. I thought Henry and Helen were quite young.
Yeah,
anyway,
so did I.
maybe they were a whole lot older. Maybe they were adults. So I want to offer apologies to cousin Henry and his dear wife Helen, who sadly passed 4 years ago, without ever hearing my confession. I want to apologise for making fools out of both of them. I also want to apologise to my dear departed aunt, who I'm certain knew that I was as guilty as hell, for she also knew me so well, which is almost a poem. Special apologies to Henry and Helen's 4 children, because they almost were not in existence because of my reckless childish antics. As you judge, please bear in mind that I was just an angry 9-year-old. I suppose that's very true because of the consequences of these. Very nice crossword.
Very good, I thought.
Seamless. Just think, if Helen had actually taken notice of what Roger the Dodger had said, the 4 children would be not in existence. It's a sliding doors moment, judged now by Sister Katie Susie.
Yeah, I just think that that's a very dangerous game of meddling when you can impact a relationship that way. And also, I would be devastated if someone came to me and said what Roger the Dodger said to Helen, and that, you know, people don't like you and that the family don't think you're fit. So, yeah, I'm really sorry, Roger the Dodger. Well, I'm not even sorry, because you meddled. You nearly ruined a relationship, that's so true. You are not forgiven.
Brother from another girl.
I'm going to forgive, and I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you because I think that story tells us that, you know, love always finds a way, isn't it? Love finding a way there. And also, why is he getting punished for trying to eat fruit? Trying to get any child to eat, get him anywhere near a mango. I am definitely going to forgive, just because of those stories. Don't they all teach us a lesson in a way?
I don't know.
I'm floundering a little, so definitely forgiven.
On the